Welcome to Morning Coffee with AP. Your guys' question for today was, what are some best ways to get better sleep? Stay tuned. So good morning. Welcome to Morning Coffee with AP. And guess what, guys? We have a new mug. I told you I'd get one with it says get shit done. That's what I'm all about. We'll go at 4:30, getting this rolling by 5, get out some content for you guys, answering questions. Today's question is best ways for getting better sleep, because sleep is so important for our recovery and building muscle, keeping cortisol down, for burning fat and all that kind of stuff, right? The better look. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Austin Paulson. I'm head coach here at AP Performance. Been working with hundreds and hundreds of people now, helping them with their fitness and health goals. I would love to help you out if you have some, and that's why we have this channel, is for you guys to comment below or on my Instagram stories, Austin Paulson Fitness. I post up polls and stuff like that. You can ask your questions and I'll feature them on the show. So if you haven't already yet, I please ask you to subscribe. Turn on that post notification, just because I'm doing this pretty much every single morning, answering your guys' questions to help you with your fitness goals. So let's dive into it. The best ways for getting better sleep. So like I said, sleep is super, super important. Most people neglect their sleep and they start training harder and harder. Maybe they go on a lower caloric deficit, all this kind of stuff, because they want to lose more fat. They're trying to push. But if your sleep is not in check, there's tons of things of not recovering, which means you're not being able to get back in the gym, train as intensely, or potentially you are going above your maximum recoverable volume, meaning that you're doing so much work in the gym, and then anything after that, you're really not doing anything. You're not building any more muscle. You're just kind of, knocking yourself down, and then you're becoming under recovered. So then you're going to plateau, and there's no benefit. So sleep is going to help with making sure that you're recovering. Obviously, that's when we're actually building muscle. So here's some ways that I like to sleep. Most people are like, oh, just throw some supplements at it. Yeah, I mean, like you can throw some supplements at it, and that's what we're going to talk about a little bit. But I strongly encourage you to step back and take some actual just approaches in your life in general. So the first one is just plain and simple. Depending on if you have how your tolerance is to like stimulants or caffeine or something of sorts, some people can drink coffee at 5 p.m. and do just fine going to sleep. But with that, some people can not drink coffee or stimulant past noon or something of sorts like that. But then they go into, I just need that extra push for work, for relationships, for doing stuff in the evening, right? So then it's a never-ending cycle of you're using stimulants in the evening to get through everything you need to get through, but you can't get to sleep, so then the next day you're even more tired, and the next day you're even more tired. You're just in this vicious cycle of just playing catch up and putting a Band-Aid on it by using caffeine. We don't want to do that. So instead, what you can do during the day is, if you have a cup of coffee in the morning like I am, coffee has great benefits within it, not just the caffeine, but that's totally fine. Then midday, if you actually switch, maybe try some supplements that are more of a cognitive enhancer, so like what's called a nootropic. And there's plenty of out there. You can just type in, nootropics or something of sorts like that. Also, you can use adaptogens like, ashwagandha or rhodiola rosea. Those are some good ones as well. But something of sorts that gets your natural energy, some B vitamins, something that gets your natural, energy levels and focus and cognitive ability going for the second half of the day. So you don't want a bunch of caffeine within your bloodstream, just because the half-life is somewhat decent. And so if you have caffeine in your bloodstream, it's really going to affect you getting into that deep sleep, the sleep that you're recovering in, right? So that the REM sleep and all that kind of stuff. So there's 4 stages of sleep, and then you come up into the REM sleep, and so you don't want to disrupt that full cycle, because that's when you need that full entire cycle to recover properly. And if you have caffeine in your bloodstream, it's really hard to get into that. So that means that even if you are drinking coffee at 5 p.m. and you can go to sleep, that doesn't mean you're still going to get the best sleep. That's why I would suggest you bringing it back. So the next thing is on your phone. The next thing is just being on your phone late at night, the whole hour going into bedtime. There's these, certain light that emits from this, okay? And you've maybe seen now there's some glasses. I want to get some. I like the idea of it. But there's, I believe it's the blue light. Blue light emitted from your technology of whatever you're using, laptop, phone, that is stimulating your central nervous system, and we want to calm that down, that sympathetic nervous system. And so if you're on your phone and doing all that kind of stuff, very stimulated an hour before bed and right up to bed, you're going to have a hard time going to sleep and also getting into good deep sleep. So I would suggest you pulling that screen time back as well and just chilling. Just chill, read a book, talk with whoever, but just chill. So those are some ways, as well as your nutrition. I actually like to utilize carbohydrates, a blend, like a mixed meal right before bed. Most people are like, oh, don't eat before bed. Well, I actually like to use a meal right before bed. Just because if you implement some proteins, some fat that will extensively release and digest the night, and if you have some carbohydrates as well, that's going to help release some serotonin and just make you feel good, right? It's just going to make you feel good. You ever get that feeling when you eat and then you just want to pass out? Well, yeah, so kind of utilize that tool. Then you can eat right before bed. You can still lose body fat. We know this. You've watched other videos. It just matters about the total daily calorie intake, right, of being in that deficit. So utilize that before you go to sleep. It might help you out. Now, going into supplements, there are some supplements that I like to use. First one is you can look at more of what's called theanine, or say like GABA. This is kind of inhibiting some things of these neuroreceptors to bring down the stimulation of your sympathetic nervous system. That thing that's like the fight or flight, right? Like it's getting you up in the morning, it's getting you going. It's what you need in order to. It's like a survival mechanism, pretty much, right? So if we calm that down, that's going to calm you down, soothe you, and get you to sleep faster, get you into deeper sleep. So you can just look up, theanine, L-theanine, and GABA, as well as, you want to make sure that from another lifestyle perspective that you have dark rooms, like everything, no lights are being shined out, it's quiet, the room temperature is super huge, of just like making sure it's comfortable for you. All that kind of stuff. I like to have a fan just slowly running. You'll start to find for you what works best. But those things are actually way, way more important than you think. Like, I don't know, it's fine, I'll get to sleep. Making sure you go to the bathroom for everybody. You don't just lay in bed and you have to go to the bathroom and try to go to sleep. That's like simple and stupid, but it's very important. So all those things, having a dark room with not a lot of lights emitting, but then those supplements to maybe help that, as well as maybe your melatonin release is kind of slow or not adequate. So you can supplement with melatonin. I would start at a very small dose, somewhere around 3 milligrams. And just because I've had experiences where melatonin potentially like gives you some crazy dreams because of the deep sleep you're in and all that kind of stuff. But if you have like your cortisol levels are flipped, so your cortisol should be higher in the morning and lower in the evening. If that's like flipped and you're like tired in the morning and wired in the evening, and you have some things going on, where I actually got this from a very good friend of mine, a nurse practitioner, Tanya O'Keefe. You want to regulate that cortisol level by potentially just supplementing with melatonin in the evening before bed, and then that get you into sleep. And then in the morning, I believe it's called liquor root, which will elevate to actually increase your cortisol levels. And people are like, oh, don't do that. Well, yeah, actually, you want a good response in the morning to get those that curve in the right direction instead of flipped, so you have more energy and wired in the evening, right? So I believe it's called liquor root in the morning, and take a small dose of that, and in the evening take some melatonin until you're balanced out, and then come off of that stuff. But that might help also get you into some better sleep. So that theanine, like I was talking about, you can supplement with, but I drink a lot of tea. So I believe there's like a decent amount of black tea, green tea. You can look on the labels and stuff like that. But tea is great, non-caffeinated, obviously. But those are some methods for getting better sleep, just because it's so important. I really do strongly suggest you getting around that 8 hours. I know the range is from like 6 to 8 or 7 to 9. For beginner lifters and people that does everyday life, you can get away with 6 to 8. If you're like training extensively, 5-6 days a week or whatever, and you're training hard, you got a lot of volume, you're in this for the athletic portion of it, then you really need to increase that probably to 8 to 10 to get that adequate sleep for the recovery if you're training super intense. So anyways, guys, that's my thoughts on getting better sleep. Hopefully that was helpful. Like I said, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, please, and share it with anybody that you think that would benefit from this. I really just want to grow this community. and help more and more people. So definitely give it a like, subscribe to the channel, comment your questions below. I truly appreciate it. But until next time, guys, I will see you tomorrow morning. See ya.